film number 8 time with Moon of the Wolf. Still, my brain's still working on the grammar of that one. Hey everyone! Sci-Fi Surprise time, and for folks new to the Sci-Fi Surprise Series, because now I have changed my channel for here over at Planet Shannon TV. I am working my way through all 50 classic features of this science fiction collection by Mill Creek Entertainment, and and I'll put the link below for where it all started, and I have a playlist going for all films reviewed, and this is number 8. And yes, okay, so Moon of the Wolf. Okay, so you can imagine my surprise that this isn't really a science fiction film. It's nothing. Moon of the Wolf. I thought maybe like a wolf lassoed a moon or something, or named Moon, or lived on the moon, or no. This is horror movie, and you can probably guess by the title what kind of movie it is. But it actually was a little different than I was expecting. It's from 1972, so it's later. Most of the stuff is earlier. So 1972, and it's a TV movie, and it reads like a TV movie because you can feel exactly where the commercials were. It's like, ooh, cut, and then totally different scene, like no transition, just like, and we're done, and now we're over there, and it's like, whoa. So it's really wild to see that. And when I looked it up afterwards, it's actually it was the ABC movie of the week. And I was surprised because when I was watching, I could feel the TV-ness of it. But the content-wise, I was shocked that it would be a TV movie, not only because the horror elements, for sure, but also the thematic elements are pretty strange, because it starts off with, like a murder victim, and it's pretty grisly, and not visually, but just, how it feels, and, so it's sort of, in that sense, it's more of a mystery. Again, if you're familiar with the genre film, mystery goes hand in hand with some horror genres. And so that's sort of how it works out. It's set in Louisiana, so it's in the bayou, and it has a gothic feel for sure. I started with like drawing like a house, like a big gothic house. So I can't draw houses. When I draw houses, I have that thing, like, if you've done that drawing exercise, where someone just says just to draw a house, and even if you haven't drawn for, years and aren't, a drawer and all that stuff, and, majority of the time people draw a house that's exactly the same picture that they would have drawn in junior kindergarten, because we don't tend to draw houses after, you draw a house, and there's your lawn, and there's your family, and nobody, that's the thing you do in junior kindergarten, or I think I did in senior kindergarten. And so I tried, and it was like, no, it was the same. I'm not going there. If I was in front of the house, I would draw it, but I don't even know if the house in the film is still there. Anyway, so it has this gothic horror feel, has a sort of class, struggle between sort of the farmers and, the people that have the big house and own the town, and the doctor folk and stuff like that. And in between, trying to figure everything out, is the police guy. And I absolutely adored the police guy. David Janssen is who played him, and he played the lieutenant. And I was like, wow, this guy's really good. And it's really weird, because I'm like, this movie, like, it's weird, because it's like, thematically it's a little heavy, but then it feels a little cheesy, but not actually. Like, it's not making fun of anything, and it's not badly done. And I'm like, wow, this is like actually an interesting story, and it's told pretty well, and that's some good dialogue, and hey, some pretty good actors, both David Janssen and Barbara Rush. So I'm like, these are, this is good performance. And then afterward, I looked up, and David Janssen was the fugitive, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's got some cred, going in. But he was he really was good. Like, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, he's okay. But it's weird, because I'm like, for me, contextually, I don't have lots of reference in terms of time and stuff, so for me, it kind of felt like Perry Mason meets Dukes of Hazzard meets, like, like a horror story. And I was like, wow, it's just kind of like, I don't really know what to think of this, because, you know, if it hasn't been clear enough, it is not a science fiction movie. Like, there's not even, like, it's not even a hint. There's not even one throwaway line in, you know, that could have transferred it from horror to science fiction. So, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I actually did enjoy it. I was actually very surprised. It's, you know, it's based on a book, and I'd be curious to read the book, you know, and there's interesting characters and some good drama there. Like, you know, in terms of a story, there wasn't tons, that was a huge surprise, but it's a genre I'm very, very familiar with. I've done marathons and always watched films of this ilk, so, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, get mad at a 40-year-old movie for not surprising me, because hell, like, I've seen a lot of movies like this, like, in terms of content, but not in terms of this style or whatever. I actually thought it was later. I thought it was more late 70s, early 80s, so the fact that it was early 70s quite surprised me. The only thing I would say in terms of the quality of the film wasn't great. Like, sometimes it felt like it was a tape, like it was captured from a VHS tape, because sometimes just what would happen, that was like, ooh, you know, like a bit of a glitch that feels like when you have a tape and it's not that great. But very, like, maybe 3 times, and never, it was intrusive. It was just kind of, I just noticed stuff like that. And then there were some things, there were lots of, and this is just one of those weird things, there were some really dark shots, especially in the beginning, where you couldn't tell who was who. It was usually only one person on the screen, but you couldn't really recognize, especially early on. It was kind of weird, and that's because of, you know, the degradation of film at the time. And then there were some long shots with conversations, and it's like people are like way far away from the camera, like you can't see them talking to each other at all. So it's kind of like, did they, you know, was their voice work done after, or was that a choice? Was that not a choice? I don't know. You know, again, I noticed them, but it didn't really sort of take away from the film. And again, because the acting was quite good, it didn't really matter. And that goes across the board, actually. All of the characters, like there were a fair amount of characters, and I thought that they were pretty well-rounded, and then the acting for all of them was good, and different representation of different, like, culture, like, you know, the culture clash between the different people in the bayou and all this. I'm Canadian, I just total, like, I don't understand, like, I'm not familiar with the, you know, with the race terminology. So anyway, I actually quite enjoyed it. It is public domain, which I'm very surprised for a film from 1972. Which I didn't even know that was. I thought, I don't know. How long do licenses last? 40 years? Did it come up last year? I don't know. Probably not, because this came out in 2008, 9. But still, you know, I would definitely actually say worth watching. It does kind of have that TV. It does have a TV movie feel, and I think that's interesting because we're now very used to, even TV shows don't always have a TV feel, because when you watch them on DVD, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily know where the commercial breaks would be, whereas earlier TV shows, stuff from like 10 years ago, without a doubt, long, forlorn shot, hold, looking out the window, whatever, close up, hold the moment, and then you come back to the exact same moment, or whatever it is. Like, it just reads differently. Then now things are more seamless. I think people are more aware that people watch things maybe all in one go after, which actually means when you watch it on TV, sometimes it kind of sucks, because it's kind of like this moment, beautiful moment, and let's buy this toothpaste or whatever. It's just kind of like, ah! Anyway, didn't mean to go on a huge tangent there. So yeah, so 8th film, Movement of the Wolf. Enjoyed it, yes. Science fiction, no. So it goes in the line. Actually, you know what is so funny? Actually, I think the non-science fiction films, wow, I really hit the screen there, might be holding up better than the science fiction films, because non-science fiction films, Laser Mission, of course, I adored that. That was hilarious. Blood Tide, really good supernatural film. She Gods of the Shark Reef, okay, so that was a bit of a, it was enjoyable, but it's just, I don't know, it's a bit weird, in terms of the movie. And then for the science fiction films, Attack of the Monsters, aka Chimera vs. Gyron, definitely still my favorite. Phantom from Space, pretty good. Planet Outlaws, I really love it. And then The Incredible Petrified World, wow, really didn't like it. So overall, the non-science fiction films are doing better than the science fiction films. I don't know where I would place this. I think Laser Mission I still enjoyed more. And then Moon of the Wolf, and then Blood Tide. Crazy. Oh, I didn't mean to put it away. Oops. Anyway, so next bit of business, of course, is picking the new film. Hat time. And my cat has knocked over my hat every single night this week. Every single night. So I'm quite convinced. I keep looking and I keep finding little pieces of paper like all over the place. So there's still lots left, but I'll have to come get creative. Maybe near the end of. Alright, let's see what the next movie is. That feels like it's upside down. Maybe it's upside down. Menace from Outer Space. 1956, black and white. Richard Crane? Menace. Richard Crane. Yay! Yay, yay, yay! So that feels like it will be a science fiction film, for sure. It's weird. I think it's so funny. I think I didn't realize how well I named this when I named this, because honestly, I think the surprise is on me. Because these films definitely not so much of the science fiction, but again, I'm still enjoying it, so I'm going to keep going. So that's it for this week. I don't know if I'll wait a whole week to watch Menace from Space. I might not be able to do that. And if you came over from my older channel, thank you so much for finding me. I really, really appreciated it. I needed a fresh start, and here I am. So thanks so much. Alright, take care, everyone.